Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Danny Podolsky. I'm joined here with Isaac, the Midwest Choppa Dulgarian. He's set to make his UFC debut on January 14th when he takes on Dan Argueta. Isaac, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yes, sir. Always, man.
And just, first off, 5-0, already in the UFC. What's it like getting that call?
Man, it was awesome. Just the experience of the Looking for a Fight show and getting to fight in front of Dana and everything. That was just an amazing experience. Got to fight in front of a large crowd, so that was nice as well. As far as everything else goes, 5-0, I'm ready to go, man. Ready to start fighting and climbing the rankings.
And how did this fight, specifically with Dan Argueta come together? Was he the first name they gave you and you just took it, or were there several names out there?
They told me a name, and yeah, I took it. That's simple. I'm ready to fight. My debut's been put off since February, so I'm ready to fight.
Has it been frustrating for you, having that long layoff after, you got to 5-0 pretty quickly, and then it's going to end up being about 11 months since your last fight when you got the contract? Has that been frustrating at all?
No, it hasn't really been frustrating, man. I'm still young in the sport, so I've just been growing my skills during that time, and I'm looking forward to putting on a highlight in my debut.
And so for the matchup specifically with Dan Argueta, have you gone to watch any of his previous fights? Is that, a big part of how you train, or are you just going in there and gonna do your thing?
I'm going to do my thing regardless. I've watched a couple of his fights. I remember watching him fight on The Ultimate Fighter when he fought Tercios, and I seen him fight live when he fought Damon. So, I've seen him fight, and I think it's a good matchup stylistically. I think we're both good at the same things.
What gives you the advantage over him?
I just feel like I'm better. I feel like I'm better everywhere. So we're gonna find out January 14th, but I just think I'm better.
And so let me ask you, because you're 5-0, 5 finishes, 5 first-round finishes at that, and 3 submissions, 2 subs. Where would you consider yourself to be sort of more prolific? Is it the striking, or is it the wrestling with that background that you have?
My wrestling is first class, man. I don't think anyone my size can really beat me in a wrestling match, if they win by maybe 1 point, 2 points. Like, you're not gonna smoke me. Mm-hmm. So that for sure. And then my striking's starting to come together. So just putting everything together is the game plan.
And so I got to ask, because you previously trained at Glory MMA with James Krause, are you still training with him at all, or are you having to sort of disassociate from that gym?
I'm out training at Factory X right now, but as far as everything going on there, I don't really have a comment.
Fair enough. Is there any sort of comment you can give on your relationship with James Krause, not even on his situation, but just on how he's been able to help you throughout his career?
He's helped me tremendously in my career, man. He's one of the best coaches I've ever been around. In general, I've grown up in several top of the line rooms, like wrestling rooms and everything. He's one of the best coaches I've had. He's got a great eye for the sport. So he's helped me out tremendously just my first 3 years fighting.
Were you told at any point that you can't fight if you're training at that gym for this upcoming fight?
Yeah, I think they sent us a newsletter or something.
Mm-hmm.
Email the UFC did.
And is he still, coaching out of that gym right now, or what's going on with the other fighters at that gym?
No comment on that, brother. He's not training at the gym. I haven't heard from him, honestly, since then. So
fair enough. And so moving on from that, you're now in Colorado, right?
Yeah, I'm just training out here until Christmas. Just getting some work in.
And so training at elevation, do you think that's going to help you with your wrestling and your cardio? Is that a big part of your game plan?
Hey, man, I hope so. Yeah. I just got acclimated out here, so I'm starting to feel better and getting the gas going.
Have you gotten to train at elevation like that before?
Yeah, I have. I've been out here plenty of times, wrestling and stuff growing up, so I've been out here.
And so you're at Factory X at the moment?
Yeah.
Who are your main sort of partners there, and how has it been training there compared to being at Glory? And do you think that's going to have any effect, having new guys in your corner?
I'm not going to have new guys in my corner. I got the same group I always have. Mike Breeden is my coach, and Jason High as well. So they're going to be in my corners. Yeah, as far as everything else, man, Factory X has good partners. I've been training with Yusuf Zalal and Chris Gutierrez, and there's just so many people out here. So, and Coach Mark Montoya. So I just been training and just making sure I get the rounds in.
And so you were, a champion in another promotion. Do you think having sort of that championship experience, does that give you sort of like an advantage as you head into your UFC career of like knowing that you can compete at the top of level and there's no sort of stage that's too big for you?
Not necessarily, man. Everyone that in the UFC is great at fighting. They've all probably won a title at some point. So it's not really anything special to me. It was just it's time for me to move on. I've had 5 fights, 5 first round finishes. It's time for me to get tougher opponents. So
And so you're, 5 fights, you've looked dominant in every fight. Does that sort of inexperience, does that, concern you at all, or do you feel like you're ready to go?
I feel like I'm ready to go, man. It is what it is. We fight, and the result doesn't matter here. We're talking about gaining the experience, and so I can become one of the best fighters in the world.
Fair enough. And then, I got to ask, where did you get the nickname Midwest Choppa? Because that's one of my favorite ones, one of the more unique ones I've heard in a few.
Oh yeah, my buddy Kobe Fair, he lives out in Vegas. He trains at Extreme Couture. He's a fighter as well. He was my college roommate, and he kind of just gave me that nickname based on my style.
Fair enough. And then, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but just my final question. January 14th, Isaac Dulgarian takes on Dan Argueta. Isaac, give me your official prediction.
Man, I'm gonna look to finish. That's how I fight. Dan's tough, so I'm hoping he gives me a little more fight than everyone else, and we'll just see what happens, man.
Mm-hmm. Guys, you heard it here first. Isaac Dulgarian is set to make his UFC debut on January 14th when the UFC returns. He takes on Dan Argueta. You won't want to miss this fight. Isaac, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.